Low, 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 low. Ashes to ashes, fun to funky. We know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hitting an all-time low. Okay, welcome to Dave TV for the 27th of October, 2011. A number of rumors today that CBS will indeed buy 107.9 there, which is WFSI, a religious station owned by Family Stations. The station's in Annapolis, okay? There are transmitters up in western Anne Arundel County, so it covers both the Washington and Baltimore markets. The big question is, which CBS office will get control of the 107.9 signal? Will it be Baltimore, based out of Townsend, where they run 105.7, The Fan, they run WLIF, 101.9, Mix 106.5, and the new HFS on 97.5, 1300 ESPN? Or will it be CBS in Washington, based out of wonderful Parliament Place there in Atlanta? Beautiful, picturesque Parliament Place there. Which also runs WJFK 106.7, The Fan, Fresh 94.7, LZL 99.1, PGC 95.5, and 1580. I think, even though I think I'd love to see a resurrection of WHFS on 107.9, I would personally love this. Because, the signal blankets the Baltimore market and covers most of the Washington market. So it kind of would restore HFS to that dual market status it had for many years on 99.1. I personally would like to see this, because I do like what they're doing with the new HFS here on 97.5 out of Baltimore. But I honestly think the money-grubbing, money hands would say it makes more sense for 107.9 to be part of the DC market, simply because DC is a much larger radio market than Baltimore is, and therefore the potential for a lot more revenue. So by making 107.9 a DC market station right out of Atlanta makes more sense and dollars, simply because it has the potential. It'll be a alternative. First Wave. Pet Shop Boys, love it. Anyhow, that's Sirius First Wave, that 33, Sirius XM. Anyhow, makes more sense for the signal to be on a Washington station, because simply it's a bigger market and more revenue, okay? So what are the options? Oh, gosh. The problem of putting a talker on 107.9 is you got it up against WTOP's Northern Virginia signal there on 107.7. Okay, that's not good. So no matter what you put on 107.9, you're going to run into some problems there in Northern Virginia. And plus it puts the signal up really close to WTOP. And if they do put a talker on 107.7 or 107.9, you're up against WTOP, your rival, literally adjacent channel. That's not probably a good marketing thing. So here's some options. As we've gone through some of these before, but I'll go through them again. What the hell? Kill some time here. Put the talker, the new CBS Washington talker on 99.1. If you run the signal in mono, you get really good coverage of the Washington market, okay? And the transmitter's in northern PG County, so it's not too far outside the Beltway, so you can get a really good signal with this. Then you can move LZL over to 107.9, and then you keep basically the rest of the cluster the same. Fresh would stay on 94.7, PGC on 95.5, and JFK on 106.7. So I think this is probably the best option for CBS. You let them to experiment and grow something on 99.1, and if it grows really well, maybe they could always move it to 94.7, which is an inside the Beltway Bethesda-based signal. But for the time being, this would be a pretty good option. Okay? Some other options. JFK moved to 94.7. JFK, the 106.7 signal isn't good in the northeast suburbs, so you'd move JFK to the better signal, 94.7. Then you could maybe bring back HFS, take that Baltimore HFS or something and put it on 99.1, I don't know. You'd be getting into a turf war with Dave Labrosi and CBS in Baltimore, so maybe that wouldn't be so good. Put Fresh on 106.7, PGC and Elzall. I don't know. I'm not real thrilled with this one. And then, of course, you could do something like this. Use the 94.7 signal for your talker. Move LZL over to 106.7 in Fairfax, which, there's a lot of Hispanic population in Northern Virginia. That would better cover them. Maybe you could put Fresh on 99.1, although that would be not a great signal for a music format because it doesn't get into some of the fringe areas and whatever. I don't know. I look at all of them. I look at all the options, and I'd say this is the best. Money-wise, this is the best. Although, as I say, I would love to see HFS back on a good signal so I could get it here in Washington in the car. But I think something like this would make the most sense if CBS is going to get the 107.9 signal. Okay? This would make the most sense to be the least risk for CBS. Put some kind of a news talker on 99.1 and go with this. So, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. All right, folks. That's the big news for today. Oh my God! A car crashed into WJFK studios today, about 7:45. A man, 60-year-old man, was driving his Honda, ran up over the curb and right into the building there on 10800 Main Street in Fairfax. I didn't even know JFK was still there. I thought they'd already moved to Lanham. They're supposed to be moving the studios to the CBS mega complex there in Lanham, but apparently they're still in downtown Toothless Fairfax there. But no injuries, and the man actually walked away from the car. Raining at the time, he probably hit a slick spot in the road. I don't know what, but anyhow, the Junkies were milking that on their show for all the ratings potential, and they need it. As I joked, it would be cool if the car could crash into the WJFK studios every morning, because it would certainly make for good radio. Oh, okay, folks. What do we got? What's the other big news today? Other than that, very sad. A lot of cuts over there at Metro Traffic at Silver Spring. We're hearing that Jim Russ is now gone. Jim's a cool guy. He's been the head of Metro Traffic in Silver Spring for quite a while, but Metro Traffic took it on the chin earlier this year when WTOP Radio started its own sports department and its own traffic department and pulled its traffic reporting out of Metro Traffic. That was their biggest client in the metro area, and it really hurt. So we shall see what happens. But basically, the management of Metro Traffic is gone. Jim Russ and a couple other folks. And we're also hearing Stan Fetter's out. He was one of the guys who flies around in one of the traffic planes. It looks like they're just pretty much getting rid of any airborne traffic reporting, opting instead for the traffic cams, the traffic sensor things, the internet stuff, and cell phone reports. So some big changes there. Some other cuts at Clear Channel are forecast. Clear Channel owns Metro Traffic now, so if we hear anything more of that, it's going to affect the Washington area. You will read it first here on DCRTV.com. Also, some changes over there at WMAL, but I think I reported on those yesterday, so F it. Who cares? A little correction yesterday. I did make a little jest that Wash Radio had topped WTOP in the 2554 full-day ratings for the third week of October. Actually, they tied. WTOP and Wash were tied for first place. So, TOP's ratings crown continues, although Wash is getting awfully darn close there. All right, folks, that's the big news for today, the 27th of October, 2011, right here on Dave TV. Don't forget to go to DCRTV.com, the world's greatest media site, I tell you. Anyhow, have a good one. Cut.